What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I today want to check out another group because 2022 is starting off with some real bangers. Now, these bangers are already on the iTunes chart, and as you can see, today I'm going to be looking on one that's on place number 21, and that is with OmegaX and Love Me Like. Love me like what? Love me like a pancake? Love me like a donut? I really like pancakes and donuts, so maybe that's a good way to make a comparison. But this is the video that I want to look at today. I hope you really enjoy this video, and of course, like always, if you do enjoy the content you see right now, all you have to do is make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and be there on the next video. And of course, if you have any suggestions on what you want me to look at, what you want me to analyze next as a videographer, then please just put it down below in the comments below. Like always, we will analyze the video, so whatever you see, whatever I pick up on, we are going to take a little bit of a break and we're going to analyze what's happening and see what is good and bad about an MV. That's what we want to analyze. So I'm just going to say, let's start with the video, see what it's all about. OmegaX. I just want to say already from the start, I love the colors. I love actually that you have this very dark blood red and this very nice blue color. It's very opposite colors, a little bit warm tone and a very cold tone, but it looks very nice. Looks very clean as well. This reminds me a little bit of, is it Taman with Criminal? I don't know. Who was wearing a mask? Oh no, it was Taman with Advice. He was also wearing one there. But I love masks. Masks always add a little bit of mystery to it, like who's behind it. Especially, I don't know how this guy looks like or this group. So it is cool to always have masks. Masks always add a little bit more of an emotion to a video. And it's a very nice mask as well, it's not just plain and black, it has a bit of a story told to it. So I bet there is a reference to it. Maybe you guys know why there is this pattern on it. Maybe he's someone who likes fashion a lot. Very nice. Yeah. So it is actually a group. The first thing that I already noticed in the MV is actually the colors. They're very warm tone and they just look very nice. I think it's also good for the winter times because it makes it feel a little bit more nicer to look at. Colors have a very big importance. If something is more cold, you as a person tend to feel cold, but if it's warm, you as a person psychologically think it's warmer. I don't know why, but it's just how we work as people. It's interesting. The first thing I also notice here about the choreography, and again, I'm not a choreographist, but it's interesting how it's filmed anyway, is how laid back everything is. And the choreography, it's not really just agile, it's all just, follow the beat, slowly going backward and forward. Really nice actually to see what we see here. Do you see what I mean? Here we have a little bit of a colder tone, but what we can see here as well is it's nice. It's a very nice different tone just generally. And also, do you see the shadows moving here? It's just adding a bit of a dimension to what we see again. I love shadows. Shadows are so important and it's something so hard to pull off. So it's nice to see what they're doing here. Very nice. Was that a cut? Hold up. So they are cutting actually here. Do you see that? So we have a cut here. It's not 100% spot on, if I can say so. It's a little bit off, I would say, by like a meter or so, or maybe 30 or 50 centimeters, but that's okay. This cut, however, was really spot on. Like, let's have a look at this. That is really, 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 really clean. And it shows again, that why can they do it good in one shot and they can do it okay-ish in another shot? It's always questionable to me because I would always try to make it look as accurate as possible. And if they can prove it, why? Nice. Again here as well, very nice little studio effect here. They only have curtains here, but they added a wind behind it, causing a bit of a, what do you call it? I don't know what to call it actually. It's just that the curtains move because of the wind, but it just looks a little bit more dramatic. It just adds a bit more movement to the scene and makes it just a little bit more interesting to look at. Very nice. Okay, let's have a look at the skin tones here to see is it actually softened or not, but I can already tell you it is softened. If you look here, for example, the detail is just gone. Now, you could argue that this is most likely bokeh, aka it's not focused. But then again, if you look at the cheek, this is actually on the same focal length as the eye. Therefore, it is more or less the same. You know, it should be in focus, but it isn't. So it's a bit, I tend to say stop focusing or stop editing the faces, but it's something that they love doing in K-pop still, and I still hope, and maybe we should make a petition for them to stop doing it. It just looks too perfect, where it just looks unnatural. It's always nice to see some details on the skin, you know? Man, this beat is so chill. Like, this is something I can actually imagine, you know, whether you like K-pop or not, you can really just see this on beach festivals, something chill, maybe in Dubai on the beach, having a nice mojito. Not telling you guys that you have to drink, but I think you know what I mean. It's always just nice, you know, to have a very simple, laid-back beat. So they really also love to use this glitch effect basically, and let me go back again. You can see more or less some glitching going on. Reverse color here, very simple, and then they cut to the next scene. But it looks really good, looks very clean. Very nice. Showing a lot of different angles. I think this is always unique. It's just nicer to see not only from one side, but maybe what is he looking at? What is he talking to? What is he holding? You know, it just shows a little bit more about what's happening on the sets, and also just adds a little bit more to the story. That is a cool transition. What was that? Did they use a smoke filter as a... Yeah, you can see the smoke, and then it slowly appears, you know, as if the fire is slowly, or the smoke is slowly coming around. And then you have the next shot. That is something I've never seen before, so that's cool. I didn't even know that you could do that. I will admit one thing, and that is something that I don't want to take as a too harsh element. It's something that I just see personally, is that there's just a lot of elements going through it. There's a lot of scenes, and I know that I'm at least happy that they're editing on beat. That is something great, but there's a lot of scenes. You can see that they filmed a lot, and they tried to incorporate this actually in the designs of the edit and the cut. I like it, but at the same time, it's also sometimes too much. I mean, if we just go back a little bit, like here, it really just tries to show a lot of angles, and you know that they filmed it, so they want to use it. And I think that's okay, like I said, but sometimes slow down a little bit, because the beat actually is very chill. And of course you got the snaps, aka the very quick beats, but don't do it too much. At least I wouldn't do it. Because here, for example, everything is nice and slow. I mean, just look how much face softening they use here. You can see he has no detail in the skin anymore. And some of you always try to say, well, that could be the makeup. But actually it isn't. It's actually just a filter on top of it to soften the face. And again, you can like it or not, but I just think it just loses a bit of detail. And you can especially see that in the hair, for example. The hair is full of detail. And then all of a sudden you can see more or less some masking going on here. Especially here, it just loses all the detail that normally a facial structure should have. K-pop videos, whoever you're editing, whoever is the editor, stop it. We do not want to see a lot of it. But you can see at least that they're at least having a good time in making the video. Really chill. I mean, I'm just saying it from my perspective. If you look at some of the choreography, you can see that some of the guys are a little bit offbeat. You can see that he, for example, is a little bit higher than the rest, you know, but I think that's totally okay for this MV. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, okay, especially with the song. But then again, if you do try to make an MV, always try to be on sync, especially if it's a group, because it just looks a little bit better. Or maybe just ask everyone to look at the camera, all look in the same direction. It just looks a little bit more impressive. It's small details like that that could just make the video a little bit more next level. Because here I have a feeling as if everyone is just doing their own thing. I mean, it's still laid back. I get the theme of it a little bit, but it's just something that they could do to impress them or make the video a little bit better than where it stands. But man, this is a really refreshing group. Really, really nice. They really love the glitch effect, no? I have a question, by the way, because this group is called OmegaX. Is that because they are related somehow to Monster X? Like, is there a relationship between it or not? If you do know, put it in the comments below. I would love to know that. Very nice. Good cuts. Ooh, that was really, really impressive, actually. Like, these focus pulls are... Let's see where was that? That was this part. You can see that there was a bit of a focus first on his hand, and then they pulled to his face. Very nice, very clean. It's still something that I think is impressive because most of these shots are done with hand, so it's all human-based. There is no machine about it, or you can just click and then it focuses on the eyes. And I love these kind of shots. It just pulls the dimension a little bit away, you know, from just everything looking the same. You know, I think bokeh or the unsharp parts, aka the hand here or the background, it's just impressive to see at times. So it's nice. They really love this effect. I mean, you can see, I can understand as well why. It just looks really cool. But then again, sometimes I think if you reuse it too much, it just shows that you don't have too many ideas and you try to reuse it because it fits to the theme. Then again, it doesn't have to be used all the time, you know, just maybe do it once or twice, maybe 3 times. But you don't have to do it all the time in the same shots, because at the moment, I think I saw it around 4 to 6 times, and it's always during the main part of the song or the main parts of the song. See, that was a cool transition. It's something that I didn't see before, but look how they did it. There's a bit of a reflection going on, so they reversed it basically. And then he has all of a sudden a flower in the hand. Like, what was that? What a cool way of storytelling, you know, turning a gun into a flower. It's small things like that where I'm just 100% impressed because there is a thought put behind it and the storytelling just becomes very impressive. Yeah, love me like. I mean, for the first time reacting to OmegaX, I must say I really, really enjoy this video, actually. It's very different. It's laid back. Maybe this is not the only way how they made their MVs in the past. But on top of that, what I also really like is that in the group here, you can actually see all the member names, which I think is great. I don't see that with many groups, and this would actually help people like me who has never reacted to groups like this to actually know, like, okay, this person is that person is that. Of course, by just seeing it now, I will not learn it in one go. But over time, it's just much easier to actually learn who is, and that is something useful, you know. It's small things like that. It doesn't cost a lot of time, but it just helps the newer generation, the newer people who are watching these MVs to learn a little bit about it. I mean, guys, what do you actually think of the MV? Do you like the video with Love Me Like That? Do you not? Maybe this is something that we can all learn about, you know, to say, should we have more MVs where there's more names in it? Should we not? I think this is great. When it comes to the color grades and the cuts, most of the cuts I think are great. It's very spot on. Of course, you saw some of them, which I personally would say is sloppy, and maybe there was just no workaround behind it, but I would just still say it's sloppy, and I did the best I could with it. But then again, it also just proved that they can work with very clean cuts and really between different scenes, you know. The transitions are spot on. The members are in the exact same locations, and it just shows how much dedication actually they put throughout the MV. You can also just see that making sure that the choreography for both the different clips are spot on, it's just very hard to master, you know. Choreography, when I was working with people who were doing dances, you always notice that there's always small little details that change from scene to scene, but it's just important that you have to stay consistent, and that is something they did really well. I mean, this song should be actually a summer song. It's weird how they released it maybe now, but maybe this is just not the market. Maybe this is more released to the southern hemisphere. You know, there's summer right now. Like, what do you guys actually think? But guys, I just want to say thank you again for the recommendation. And of course, if you did enjoy the video like you already said, then make sure you hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and of course, be there on the next video. And of course, I always accept any type of recommendations, but also make sure to check out the Patreon. I'm uploading weekly there now, so there's benefits there as well, and it really just costs a very cheap cup of coffee. I mean, the cheapest coffee that you can buy at McDonald's. So if you do want to support the channel, all you have to do is make sure you hit that like button. And then again, I also want to say, I think this is a great MV, you know, give them some credit, and I think it's always big challenge to actually film groups that have many members in it. You know, it's the biggest challenge that you can go with. So good job, Monster X. No, it's not Monster X. It's OmegaX. Again, is there a correlation between it or not? I just want to know, but maybe you guys know. But I'll catch you on the next video. Stay safe, guys, and we can do it. Together, we can win.